Hi everybody, it's Rob. This video is going to be very quick. It's about advertising, how to do advertising for your products, how you to advertise your craft products. Now, to be very honest, if you can get advertising correctly tied down so that you're using perhaps video advertising, maybe straight to Facebook groups, if you get it right, that you're getting a decent return on investment, ROI, your business is going to fly, especially if you have good copy on your pages that you send the clicks to. So I'm going to leave it at that. I do have a book. Go to my books, find them, and get the advertising book there. Let me just say this: advertising has got a learning curve, so I suggest you start with low amounts, 10, 15, 20, maybe 50 maximum dollars a day, and know that you might lose your first 10 attempts. You could lose $500 before you find out that XYZ. Now, if you go back to my keyword research training, a lot of it relates to successful advertising. Now, in my keyword research, I would have shown you somewhere in the videos and the training to sign up for keywords everywhere. I think you pay $30 and you get kind of like a whole year's worth of tokens. So Mudroom Bench gets 14,800 searches a month. That's pretty cool, and it's at 49 cents a click. So if I'm making $100 profit, I can get a lot of clicks before I get a sale, before I lose all my money in advertising, right? So you'd look at it like that. And in fact, if you go down here, so custom Mudroom Bench jumps to $2 a click, and there's only 140 searches. But if on the day you are the only one bidding, let's go and have a look. There's a high chance that you can bid less and you'll still get shown, because when you go here to this one, here we go, there's no ads. So in other words, you're going to show up first because, well, you're the only one running an ad. But if other people bid and you bid too low, you're out of the thing. Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much more. Shoe racks, you're going to pay 32 cents a click. Catch with the shoe rack, remember this, is that the shipping is expensive. So you need to know this would be better to target local. Okay, so you target the keywords. Now, just to jump across to something that's easily shipped, jewelry. 20 cents a click, 6,600, and if your jade jewelry prices are, well, some of these are really cheap, so you'd have to know your market, right, to get a decent return on investment. But again, sponsored products, here we go. If you go, by the way, from here to shopping, I think it's shopping, correct, that these that are sponsored, let me get my brain to try and show you which ones they are. It doesn't say exactly. They might not, any of them might not be sponsored. Can't see a sponsored listing showing. If you've done your Google business profile correctly, no, your Google Merchant Center correctly, this is an advertising trick. And if, by the way, you can't find it in the book that you're going to go and buy from me, I should have a video on this. In fact, I think I already have it. But anyway, it's how to get your stuff shown here, right here, bam. And after a bit of advertising fees, you're in there for free. Okay, resin earrings, 1 cent a click. Now watch this. This is resin earrings price. So now you've got to use your noggin a little bit, because if people are looking at prices, the chances are of those 1,000 searches a month worldwide, 800 or 500, I don't know how many, you can guess, of them are other resin earring people that are checking to see the prices. So if you've got this tool, you would be able to find out that you could excuse me, you could do well, other earring, any of these to do with, here we go, acrylic earrings, there we go. So for 29 cents you can target this keyword, pay advertising fees. But you could also know that the keyword is searched for, and now you take this keyword and you put together a thing and you use the keyword, because you know it's in demand, into something like Facebook. Okay, I think that's all I've got. Oh yeah, and I did one more. Rainbow Bridge gifts. So this is one I do, and I can do, and I don't always do because I don't market it. I make Rainbow Bridge dog memorial wall things. I don't know what you'd call it, perhaps a bit like this, but with the actual picture. If you go to, let me pause to see if I can find you one. Are you back? Well, that was horrifying as to how long it took me to find one. But believe it or not, my own websites don't have these things that I make. So this was my Boston Terrier Pablo. He passed a year ago. And so I put together a picture that is a wall art thing. It's done with, well, it's pretty straightforward. What's the stuff called? Mod Podge. So there's that one. This was the other Boston Terrier who she passed, I think 2, even 3 years ago now. This was a painting I did. In fact, here's the actual painting. So that's the more realistic. Oh, this was when it wasn't finished yet. So that's interesting. Let's see how different it was finished. No, pretty similar. So yeah, if you're going to be doing those, then you'd put these up, and then you'd create a banner that looks pretty cool, and then tell people from, you know, that keyword search. I don't need this anymore. So I'd pay 43 cents a click, and it's a small enough item to post. And yeah, in itself, it's a pretty good business model. So advertising works, people. I'm not sure if advertising will eventually ever have its own page from the Read This First page on my website. But keep your eyes open. You never know. That's all for now. Thank you. Cheers.